Let's talk to God. One more thing, like, subscribe and share. Come on, let's talk to God. Woo!
Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Cutler here, the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast, the Let's Talk to Cutler YouTube channel, the Let's Talk to Cutler virtual book club. It's another Tuesday already. I was thinking just before I went live, I was thinking, what day is it? Duh, it's a Tuesday, and it's time for us to spend about 1,800 seconds together. Hopefully, I can offer some inspiration, some motivation, and if neither of those, then hopefully I can challenge us to try to show up a little bit better tomorrow than we did today. Hopefully, I can have us to do an assessment to see if we showed up better today than we did yesterday. It doesn't mean that today or yesterday was a failure or flop. It means we're just being a little intentional. We're being deliberate about seeing what have we done to show up our best selves, even in the worst of situations. I think that's the mantra that I'm going to use this year. I always want to show up my best self, even in the worst of situations. Of course, we're always moving forward to this place and this space that's called better. And I want to remind us that better does not have to happen 5 years from now. It doesn't have to happen 5 days from now. It doesn't have to happen 5 weeks from now. But better truly happens when you believe it in your heart and you believe it in your mind, because better is a concept and it's a space that only you can walk in. And nobody can teach you that you can't be better. So we have to learn how to unteach ourselves when we hear those things that cause us to think that better is not possible. Better is possible. Better is achievable. Better is attainable and obtainable. So welcome to this 1,800 seconds of getting the motivation and the inspiration and the challenge. Why challenge, Cutler? Challenge because it is a challenge that causes us to come out of our comfort zone. We need to be challenged to become better. Challenge gets us out of the space that we already know. You can't be your best self in the space that you already know. There's better beyond where you are. All right. So I was thinking today, I have to speak tomorrow, and I was encouraging myself to somehow stand up, because standing up gets you to see beyond where you are. And I'll talk about that a little later in our broadcast. Sometimes you just have to have the strength to stand up, because standing gives you the ability to see beyond where you are. It doesn't mean that you've got to move or go running or walking or sprinting or anything. How about just standing up? Because standing up shows you possibilities. Standing up shows you your own strength. So I want to talk about that. And speaking of possibilities, I want to talk about opportunities. Have you all ever heard the saying that opportunity only knocks once? Let me know in the chat if you've ever heard that saying, that opportunity only knocks once. We want to debunk that myth. That is not true. That is not true, that opportunity only knocks once, because I'm of the mindset that even if opportunity never knocks, you create your own door of opportunities. Don't wait for it to knock. Sometimes you have to create the door and just walk right across the threshold. Listen, I'm getting started even before I can just put out the stuff that I typically say. I want to say thank you all for being with me for the long haul. So if you've never been here before, that's what this channel is all about. It's about inspiration. It's about motivation, because we hear enough bad news. We hear enough negativity. We hear enough pessimism elsewhere. This channel, these 1,800 seconds, are about building ourselves up. It is about self-love. It is about self-actualization, realizing that I can be better, I can be more, I can be stronger, I can be victorious. That's what this is about. So if you haven't done so, do me a favor. What are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe. And once you subscribe, click on the notification bell, because it lets you know whenever I've gone live. It lets you know whenever I've uploaded new content. So please, I encourage you, I urge you, I admonish you, click on that notification bell. Subscribe. And I want to go ahead and acknowledge the people who are over in the chat, the people who beat me over in the chat. I consider them, each time we chat, I consider them the LTTC VIPs, the Let's Talk to Cutler VIPs. They are the Let's Talk to Cutler very important people. Of course, everybody is important. This is just a friendly banter. It's a friendly competition that we have every Tuesday and Thursday. I want to see who's over here in the chat, who beat me over here, so I can just shout you all out. I want to say good evening to Annie Cutler, who says, let's ride, get aboard. That's right. Let's ride. Let's get aboard, because this is a caravan, and we're moving, and we're not moving alone. We're moving holding our brothers and sisters' hand. We're going to this space called better. How many of you all know there's room at the top for every one of us? There's no reason for us to be jealous of each other, because there's room at the top for so many winners. It is called a winner's circle for a certain reason. I know in the Olympics, and I know in certain competitions, there's only one winner, but in life, there's room for all of us to win. And we need not be jealous or envious of each other because we can all join hand in hand and get to the winner's circle together. We can get to the space that's called Better Together. And that's one of the things that we promote here on this platform, getting to the space called Better and doing it together. What good is it if we get to the winner's circle by ourselves? There's nobody to congratulate you. There's nobody to recognize your strength. There's nobody to recognize your victory. But when we are able to applaud each other, when we are able to compliment each other, what a wonderful, wonderful winner's circle we have. And we are a community of winners. Let's see who else beat me over here in the chat. Paula D. Hello, everyone. Paul, I love it when you all come into the room and you just start chatting and saying hello to everybody else. Who is the third person to beat me over here in the chat? It's Marissa. Marissa says, good evening, everyone. Again, I'm so glad to see all of you all here. But I want to get back to the conversation at hand for the evening and ask you all, have you ever heard the saying that opportunity only knocks once? So put that, just respond to me in the chat. I want to know if you've heard that, because again, just right out of the gate, I want to say that that's not true. Life is filled with opportunities. Each day is filled with opportunities. Sometimes you just have to look for it. You have to look for the opportunity. And again, if you don't see or hear opportunity knocking, learn how to open the door yourself. Learn how to create an opportunity to walk through. And we'll talk about that a little. Today, I just had this wonderful opportunity that just fell in my lap. I didn't pursue it. I didn't ask for it. It just came my way so unexpectedly. But here's the thing, you all. I was ready for it, even though I didn't know it was coming. That's one of the things we have to talk about. Opportunity is all about preparation. You always want to prepare. I know it looks like this thing is sticking out of my head. Let me see if I can swerve to the left or to the right. Yeah, there we go. Opportunity is about preparation. You always want to put yourself in a position to be prepared whenever a certain opportunity comes your way. Because one of the things about opportunity is that it doesn't stay long. It doesn't stay long, and you really have to learn how to seize the moment. You need to have to capture and how to live in the moment when it comes, because when opportunity does knock, as it were, you have to answer the door. It's just like somebody coming to your house, somebody's ringing the doorbell, somebody knocking on the door. They don't stay long. If you don't open the door, if you don't acknowledge their presence, they don't stay long. Neither does opportunity. And the interesting thing about opportunity is just like your victories, it's just like your successes. It's looking for you. While you're looking for victory, while you're looking for opportunities, while you're looking for successes, understand that the universe has your victory in place. The university has your opportunity in place. The university has your success in place. And just as you are looking for them, they're looking for you. They know who they were designed for. And so you have to understand that. And that's the set of rules that we need to play by. We are winners. We are victorious people, but my victories are looking for me. My wins are looking for me. And I have to be prepared when they come. So we're going to talk about that. How do I make sure that I am prepared when opportunity knocks? What is it that I need to do? What kind of study and what kind of preparation do I need to undergo? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. I'm looking at your comments and your responses over in the chat. Most of you have heard about the fact that opportunity only knocks once. I want to ask you, do you think you would be ready if opportunity came knocking? No matter what opportunity you are hoping for, would you be ready if the opportunity came knocking? One of the things that I encourage us to do, and I'll offer a few things. One of the things that I encourage us to do is to keep your eyes open. Cutler, how can I be ready? I don't know when it's coming my way. I have no magic crystal ball to look into and see when opportunities come. Keep your eyes open, because in the case of nearly every opportunity that I've been afforded, I've looked for it before it looked for me. And it does not mean that my faith was low. It does not mean that I lacked belief in myself. It does not mean that I lacked confidence. It means that I just had expectation that one day it's going to show up. And according to my faith, I don't play by my own rules, but I play on a plateau where I believe that the Creator has for me what is for me. And I have to make sure, it is my goal to make sure that I'm ready. So yes, I expect it and I'm looking for it. I don't know the day or the time when it's coming, but I do trust that it's coming. I trust that a victory is coming for me. I trust that success is coming for me. I trust that all of those things are coming my way. And you need to do the same thing. It is what some would call the power of positive thinking. I don't necessarily study the trends. I don't look at those sorts of things, but I do keep my eyes open. I know what I want in life. I know what I want to see. I know what I want for myself. So I expect those things. I keep my eyes open so that they don't necessarily catch me unaware. They might so there's a difference in being surprised and being unaware. Unaware almost means that you had no expectation of it. It means that you had no preparation for it. But when it comes at a time when I'm not looking for it, it just means that I'm surprised. I was totally surprised by this opportunity that came my way today. I'll talk about it a little later. I promise you all I'll talk about it. But it was a mind-blowing opportunity. And then to make sure that you stay ready for opportunity, not just only should you keep your eyes open, but work hard, you all. There is nothing wrong with hard work. Because merely spotting a potential opportunity is not enough. It's not enough. You have to work hard for it. For those of us who go through formal educational preparation, that's fine. You need to do that. Some of us don't necessarily have formal educational preparation. Maybe you just have on the job experience or life experience, but whatever it takes, work hard for it. Make sure that you've prepared yourself for it so when it comes, you can seize the moment. You won't be able to capitalize on an opportunity if you have not worked hard for it. Even if it is something that comes easy, you must have worked for it. You must have gone through the preparation for it. Just spotting the potential, and we talked about this before, just spotting the potential is not necessarily a good thing. We want to be qualified. We want to be prepared to take on whatever is presented to us. So this is how you stay ready. You keep your eyes open. You work hard. You do whatever you need to prepare for it. And then may I say this, this is the part that many of us lack. Have a conviction. Many times opportunities will present themselves and they look promising. But one of the flaws on our part, one of the failures on our part, one of the weaknesses on our part is that we don't necessarily have a conviction for the opportunity that seems to be knocking on our door. I will never forget, I was at a jazz dinner one Friday evening, and I had been teaching at this university, but that was not my end goal. That wasn't necessarily the university that I had targeted where I really wanted to teach. And I really hadn't given any thought to preparing myself specifically to apply at that particular university. Well, I was teaching at a university in Washington, D.C., and I went to this jazz concert, a Friday evening jazz at this local hotel. And a gentleman walked up to me and he said, "You look so familiar." And I said, "Okay, well, the reason I look familiar is because I was one of your students many years ago." And he said, "Oh, okay, so what are you doing now?" And I told him that where I was working full time, but I also told him where I was teaching part time. And he said, as I recall, you were a pretty good student. Is that right?" Of course, what am I going to do? Say, no, I was a horrible student? No, absolutely not. I mean, this is when you get a chance to toot your own horn and never be ashamed to stand in your greatness. That is one of the things that people have taught us not to do, is to stand in our greatness. Never apologize for recognizing that God has taken the time to make something wonderful out of you. You don't have to cower in any kind of fake humility. Understand the beauty that you possess, understand the strength that you possess, understand the gifts that are inside of you, and you don't ever have to cower. You don't ever have to apologize for that. So when he said to me, "I think you were a pretty good student," I was, you all. So I said to him, "Yeah, yes, I was." And he said to me, if catch this, you all, he said, "If you ever want to teach at Howard University, let me know this. Drop an application and let me know." You all do know, now that was a Friday. You all do know that I dropped an application Monday. You have to be prepared. But here's the interesting thing. I had worked hard. I kept my eyes open. How do you know that I kept my eyes open? Because I was already teaching. I was looking for the opportunity to teach. It did not catch me unaware. I had worked hard. I had gone through the formal educational process. I had some work experience, things that I had already done on the job. But beyond that, I had a conviction. and my fellow educators would get it. I had a conviction about having an impact on the lives of people who are younger than I am. I had a conviction about making sure that I was able to put fingerprints on people and make a footprint in their life. That's one of the things that I had a true conviction about, and I still have that conviction. So you want to make sure that you have a conviction, because when opportunity comes your way, it's one thing to pursue it out of just vocation. It's one thing to pursue it because you can, but it's a difference when you pursue it because that's what you have a conviction about. That's what you have a calling for. That's what you have a yearning for. So make sure that you have a conviction for the thing that you really want to do, because if success does not require anything else, it requires passion and conviction. Put that in the comments. Success requires passion and conviction. And it must be the passion that you have. It must be the conviction for you have. Those are two things that nobody can give you. Nobody can give you passion and nobody can give you conviction. It has to be birthed inside of you. All right. So those are just a few ways of just making sure that you stay ready for opportunity when it knocks. That's not even talking about creating the open door, but that's just talking about making sure that you stay ready for opportunity when it knocks. Let me see what you all are saying to me in the chat. Let's see. Stay ready. Absolutely, McDarnett, I'm with you. Stay ready so that you don't have to get ready. Stay ready so that you don't have to get ready. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Yvonne Joe says you help older people too. Thank you so much, because yes, I've taught on the community college level where there were students. Many of my students were older than I was at the time when I was teaching. But it is about just making sure that you have a passion for what you do. You want to have a passion for what you do, because many opportunities could come your way, and you might have those from which you can choose, but you want to choose something that is correlated with your purpose. You want to choose something that is connected to your destiny. You really do. And you want to make sure that you look at the longevity of what it is that you're pursuing. I want to do this because I have a conviction for it. One of the things that you will never give up on is the thing that you're passionate about, the thing that you have a conviction for. Marissa, absolutely. Success equals passion plus conviction. Couldn't have said that better myself. Success equals passion plus conviction. So not only do I want to make sure that we stay ready for opportunity when it comes, but I also want to ask us this: how do you know if you're ready? Will you be prepared when opportunity knocks? And one of the things that I want us to do, we talk about inspiration, we talk about motivation, but I also want us to challenge ourselves. Here is where we push ourselves outside of our comfort zone. Am I ready for opportunity? Will I be prepared for opportunity? Cutler, I heard you talk about this whole notion of staying ready, but I need to make sure that I really am ready. How do I do that? How do I know that? Here's how you know. Make an honest assessment. This is between you and you. Nobody gets to make this evaluation or this assessment of you. This is between you and you. Look at your work. Look at what you've done and be honest and objective about your strengths. Ask yourself, what am I good at? You have to ask yourself, what must I absolutely, positively be excellent at in order to move to the top of my game? And you've got to be brutally honest, you all. I offer us tonight, you all know I sometimes don't know the offering until I'm in the middle of the conversation, but I offer us the power to be honest with ourselves. And you can be honest with yourself because it's just between you and you, and it's just you and you behind closed doors. But we need to be brutally honest with ourselves and saying, oh, let me do an assessment of myself. What am I excellent at? And how can I move to the top of my career? How can I move to the top of the charts? How can I move to the top of my game? How can I move to the top of wherever I want to be? Because while you are assessing your strengths, I want you to also ask yourself, what am I not so good at? And one of the things that I often say is that if you want an outside opinion, make sure it's an outside opinion of someone that you can trust. Ask your friends will be brutally honest with you. Those who want the best for you will be brutally honest with you, and you have to be prepared to accept the feedback that they give you. You don't have to go out and ask everybody. You would never ask your enemies what you think of me. I don't care what my enemies think of me. Just don't care, and neither should you. But ask your friends, how do you see me? What are some of my strengths that you may have observed through the years? And so not only do I want you to make an honest assessment of yourself, but here is something, y'all, and you just take this one. This one is just free. If you want to make sure that you are ready and that you are going to be prepared, practice starting your day a little earlier. Practice starting your day just a little better. Cutler, what does that mean? What does that look like? Well, that's different. It is subjective for each of us, but you can start your day a little early, because one of the things that I've studied, one of the things that I found out about people who are successful, many of them tend to start their day early. Many of them start their day a little better than they did before they were successful. It means they may start with exercise. They may start with eating right. They may start with yoga. They may start with meditation. They may start with prayer. They may start with something that allows them to focus and find their center. So maybe just try to get up just a little earlier and see if you can spend a little more time working on something that you want to see. So you have to put it into practice. So just try to start your day a little earlier. Try to start your day a little better. And for those of us who don't eat breakfast, listen, I am not a nutritionist. I'm not a dietitian, but I'm just suggesting that you might want to energize yourself at the beginning of the day. I'm just saying this from my experience. Cutler was not always the best person at getting up in the morning, starting his day by energizing himself. And sometimes, you all, I would get to 12 and 1 o'clock and my energy level had just drained. Why? Because I hadn't energized myself. Had read that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And some of you all may respectfully disagree, and that's fine. You can do that if you want to. But I'd been told that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And guess what? I realized for me that it was crucial for me to energize my body, because when I start, I kick in gear. I can go from 0 to 75 in 10 seconds. And that's how my day starts. And I'll just stay there. I'll sustain 75 until my body will finally say, have you eaten? Have you energized yourself? Slow down. And sometimes, y'all, your body will crash and burn because you didn't do right by your body. And doing right by your body is a part of being ready for opportunity. I know y'all don't like that answer, but it really is. And then as you get up early, why would you suggest getting up early? So you can plan your day. No one who's going to battle goes to battle without planning. No one who is going to build a house starts to build a house without planning. No one, and I've been in the teaching profession for over 35 years, no one who's going to walk into a classroom walks into a classroom without having developed their agenda for the day. Sure, I develop my syllabus at the beginning of the semester, but I still have an agenda for what I'm going to prepare and present to my students every single day I walk into the classroom. McDina, I knew somebody would success. I knew somebody would respectfully disagree. So that's why I say, hey, it's do your own thing. But however you do it, you need to energize your body. All right. So let's talk about something else. Let's talk about something else, because y'all know I only have 1,800 seconds. I only have 1,800 seconds because now the last few minutes, Cutler, how do we respond then? When opportunity knocks, how do we respond? Look it straight in the eyes, examine it, and you don't have to quickly move on it. I know some people have said, seize the moment, but seizing the moment does not mean that you respond quickly. It does not mean that you respond without being intentional. It does not mean that you respond without being deliberate. Neither does it mean that you respond without having done an assessment or an analysis of the opportunity that knocks. Let me see if you're the opportunity that I need. Let me just look at this opportunity. Let me see if it allows me to do some smart goals, some planning. because it is about setting goals, you all. And I use the word smart. I don't mean it in terms of intellectual. I mean in terms of the acronym that says, can I set goals? Can I set some specific goals? Can I set some measurable goals? Can I set some actionable and attainable goals? Can I set some realistic goals? Can I set some goals that are time bound? That's how to respond. You do an analysis of the opportunity. Does it lend itself to me making goals? Why goals, Cutler? So that I can have small successes along the way, so that I can have a way of celebrating myself along the way. Don't you all ever undertake anything that does not allow you to celebrate yourself. I don't care what it is. Do not undertake anything that does not allow you to celebrate yourself along the way. And that has nothing to do with ego, that has nothing to do with arrogance. It has everything to do with your humanity, because we like to celebrate everybody else. But how often do we find that we don't celebrate ourselves? And we are charged and we're energized by that. So why not create your own way of celebrating yourself? That is about self-love. You all know a part of my mantra for this year is about giving yourself the same grace that you would give others, the same way that you would celebrate other people. Learn to celebrate yourself. So then, set goals. So when opportunity knocks on your door, analyze it to make sure that it allows you a possibility of setting those kinds of goals so that you can recognize those kinds of victories, because it is one victory to the next victory that charges you to get to the next. All right. And then you all know I've got to get out of here in just a minute. Think about the possible steps that you need to take to achieve these goals. So when opportunity knocks, you're setting goals and you're thinking about objectives, not only just goals, but the objectives. You're putting those in place. And when the opportunity knocks, one of the things that you might want to remember is that no man or woman is an island unto him or herself. Learn how to connect with people who will buy into the thing that you're trying to do. And I'm not talking about selling anybody any false hope or any false privileges or anything like that. But we've talked about this before. Make sure that you have a village in place that supports you, and find people who can join you on your journey. And don't feel bad about reaching out to them. That's why we're called humanity, because we're here with other people. Connect with people who support you, connect with people who believe in you, and then connect with people who you believe in. So create a village, create a pocket of success, and connect with people. That is why every time we end this broadcast, every evening, we say, let's keep building community and let's make sure that we keep maintaining connectivity. A part of responding to opportunities and making sure that after you respond to it, that you have the village who will support you. You set your goals, they'll support you. I hope that's right. No man is an island to himself. We really aren't. And that defeats this whole notion of feeling like you're helpless, feeling like you're hopeless, feeling like there's nobody in this thing with me. No, you bring people into it with you. Go and get them, bring them into it with you. Why is that important, Cutler? That's important because one of the things that we so often lack is accountability. Opportunity has knocked on my door. I seize the moment. I'm doing my own thing, but while I'm doing my own thing, there is no one in my village to keep me accountable. How am I going to maintain my conviction? How am I going to maintain my pace? How am I going to maintain my efforts? How am I going to maintain this notion to reach my goals? How am I going to maintain this notion of reaching goals whereby I celebrate myself if there's nobody in my village? When opportunity knocks, it doesn't have to be their opportunity, it's yours, but bring them into your space, bring them into your circle. Opportunity came my way today. Many of you all have been with me for what, these 2, 3 years, almost 3 years now that I've been doing this. And someone was reading one of my books, and I got a call today, and it humbled me because there is someone who wants to do a teaching session using my book for the course. I was so, surprised. Not unaware, but surprised. Because as much as I had wanted that to happen, I didn't know when it would happen. And the person asked me if I would think about it. I said to myself, and I said to the person, I don't have to think about it. I would love to do it. It would be an honor for me to do it. That, you all, if I may be transparent, was the basis of our conversation this evening. When things happen in my life that many times I promise you all I would be so transparent about, and that opportunity came my way today, and I was so moved and so thankful and so honored by the privilege of walking in that door. It blew my mind. But what I realized in the core of my soul was that I had done the preparation. I kept my eyes open, and I was then prepared to bring people along on my journey. And it was something that I had a true conviction for. So I'm just suggesting to you all, as we talk about having prepared for 2023 and we're letting some things go in 2022, keep looking for these opportunities, you all. Keep knocking doors down. Keep your eyes open. Stay aware. Expect things. Have hope for your own life. Have hope for your own life. Because when other people don't necessarily believe in you, and this is what we talk about, believe in yourself. Believe in the gifts and the talents that you possess. And it is so true. It is such, I have to go here because this is a space of my faith. You have to believe in yourself and understand and believe that your gifts will make room for you. They will. We hear that so many times. What does that mean? It means that whatever is inside of you, whatever you have a conviction for, trust that opportunity and preparation will come together, and they will come right to your door. And you be prepared to stand in the strength of the gifts that God has given you and put your best foot forward. And don't apologize for the gift. Don't apologize for the talent. Don't apologize for having the conviction, but walk through that door and do what you do excellently. Thank you all for your note of congratulations, but hey, we're in this together. I'm going to keep, trust me, I'm going to keep you all posted and let you all know how it's going. If it is a session that airs through social media, I will definitely let you all know about it. But I just wanted to share my conviction about being ready for opportunity. It is my hope, it is my prayer that opportunities will do the same thing for you all. That they will chase you down, that victories will chase you down, that success will chase you down, that wins will chase you down, and that they will overtake you to the point that you can only give thanks. So thank you all. I'll keep you posted. Until the next time, you all, do me a favor. Let's keep building community. Let's keep maintaining connectivity. Keep your heads up. Keep your hopes up. Have hope in yourself, because hope is expectation. Expectation that it's going to get better, expectation that I'm going to win, expectation that I'm going to be successful. Keep your heads up, keep your hopes up. Stay safe, you all. Whatever you do, stay safe. I know some people say the pandemic is over, but the disease is still there. So you all stay safe. Stay sane. Don't let people run you crazy. And please know that from my heart to yours, there is and always will be so much love. I'll see you all the next time in a couple of days. Until then, hey, good night.